You are predictable, therefore disposable. Loyalty exposes you. Consistency betrays you. Power favors those who fracture patterns, weaponize ambiguity, and force others to move blind around your intentions. Predictability is a liability. You are trained to believe predictability is virtue. Be consistent, be reliable. Let your intentions be known so others can trust you. This doctrine was not designed to protect you. It was designed to map you. In every hierarchy, corporate, social, political, intimate, the first thing observers do is not judge your morality. They chart your patterns. When you speak, when you hesitate, what you tolerate, what you repeat. Predictability turns a human being into a schedule, and schedules are exploited. The moment people can anticipate you, they stop reacting to you and start planning around you. Your behavior becomes terrain. Once that happens, you are no longer a player. You are an environment others navigate for advantage. This is the quiet demotion most men never notice. Consistency feels honorable because it removes friction. It makes you legible, but legibility is exposure. In war, the visible unit dies first. On a chessboard, the piece that moves the same way every time is not respected. It is neutralized. Machiavelli understood this before psychology had a name. Power does not fear aggression. It fears uncertainty. The predictable man can be provoked, baited, pressured, reassured. He responds as expected. He can be escalated or de-escalated at will. His enemies sleep well. Predictability creates a false sense of moral superiority. You tell yourself you are real, honest, solid. In reality, you are simple to disarm. The more you insist on being understood, the more leverage you hand to those who understand manipulation. Look closely at how control is applied. Managers rely on predictable employees. Partners rely on predictable lovers. Friends rely on predictable behavior. Reliance is not respect. Reliance is dependency, and dependency invites management. The predictable man becomes a resource, not a threat. Unpredictability unsettles because it breaks the prediction loop. When people cannot model your behavior, their nervous system stays alert. They hesitate, they second-guess, they delay moves. This hesitation is not accidental. It is power created through absence of clarity. This is why institutions reward predictability and punish ambiguity. Systems function by forecasting behavior. An unpredictable man introduces variance. Variance destabilizes control structures, so he is labeled difficult, erratic, dangerous, untrustworthy. These are not moral judgments, they are warnings. Understand this clearly. Being trusted often means being domesticated. Trust is granted to those who will not surprise the system. The system does not trust wolves. It studies them or removes them. Predictability is also emotional. If your reactions are stable, people learn which buttons work. Anger becomes a lever. Guilt becomes a leash. Compassion becomes an entry point. Your values are reverse engineered, then used against you with surgical precision. The predictable man believes he is safe because he follows rules. He does not realize the rules were written to contain him. Safety is not granted by compliance. It is taken through leverage. And leverage requires asymmetry, what others know versus what you reveal. This chapter is not asking you to become chaotic. Chaos is noise. Noise attracts attention. What threatens power is controlled unpredictability, behavior that cannot be timed, anticipated, or emotionally hijacked. Until you break the habit of being readable, every move you make is already priced in by someone else. You will always arrive late to your own battles. Predictability is not innocence. It is a liability you have been taught to defend. The psychology of pattern exploitation. The human mind is a prediction engine. It survives by forecasting outcomes, not by reacting blindly. Every interaction you enter, the other side is not listening to your words first. They are measuring your patterns. What happens after silence? How you respond to pressure. Whether you seek approval or assert ground, this is not conscious, it is instinct. Once a pattern is detected, the mind relaxes. Certainty replaces vigilance. And in that relaxation, control enters. Pattern recognition is how predators hunt and how institutions govern. It is why routines feel safe and why disruption feels threatening. The moment someone understands your behavioral rhythm, they can introduce stimuli that produce guaranteed reactions. You become programmable. This is where most men fail. They think manipulation requires intelligence or malice. It doesn't. It only requires repetition. If you consistently respond the same way, to stress, praise, rejection, or urgency, you are no longer an autonomous agent. You are a button. Consider how pressure is applied. First, a small test, a delayed response, a subtle insult. A shifting deadline. Your reaction is noted, not judged, catalogued. Then the pressure escalates precisely at the level that destabilizes you without causing rupture. This is surgical, not emotional. You believe you are being tested. In reality, you are being mapped. Those who exploit patterns do not need to dominate openly. They let you dominate yourself. Your predictability does the labor for them. They simply place obstacles where they know you will trip, or rewards where they know you will chase. Predictable men confuse emotional transparency with strength. They broadcast intentions to appear fair. But fairness is irrelevant in asymmetrical conflict. Transparency only benefits the side with superior leverage. When your inner state is visible, it becomes a control surface. Machiavelli warned that men are either cautious or impetuous, generous or frugal, cruel or merciful, and rulers fail when they lock themselves into one mode. Fixed traits invite fixed countermeasures. Fluidity preserves advantage. Unpredictability disrupts the brain's forecasting loop. When expectations fail repeatedly, the observer experiences cognitive strain. They cannot relax. They hesitate to commit resources. They delay decisions. In power dynamics, delay equals weakness. This is why unpredictability feels unsettling. It removes the illusion of safety created by understanding. People do not fear aggression as much as they fear miscalculation. The unpredictable man introduces risk without revealing intent. Notice who is feared in any hierarchy. Not the loudest, not the strongest. The one whose reactions are inconsistent, whose silence is unreadable, whose next move cannot be inferred from the last. Around him, others speak carefully. They reveal less. They posture more. Power has shifted without a word. Pattern exploitation also works emotionally. If you are consistently compassionate, you attract emotional dependence. If you are consistently strong, you attract challenges. If you are consistently reasonable, you attract manipulation disguised as negotiation. Your virtues become entry points. The system prefers you stable because stability is measurable. Predictable inputs produce predictable outputs. That is how control scales. The unpredictable man breaks scalability. He must be dealt with individually, expensively. This chapter removes the illusion that predictability is neutral. It is not. It is a signal broadcast to every observer. Here is how to control me. Until you fracture your patterns, you are not choosing your actions. You are reenacting them. The archetypes of power and exposure. Men do not operate as individuals in power systems. They operate as types, archetypes, behavioral silhouettes that signal how they can be used, bypassed, or eliminated. The mistake is believing these types are identities. They are not. They are positions. And most men are trapped in the weakest ones. The first archetype is the predictable servant. He is reliable, morally consistent, emotionally accessible. He believes his value comes from being needed. His behavior is stable, his reactions measurable. He is rewarded with responsibility, not authority. Access, not control. He is the backbone of systems he will never rule. The predictable servant is trusted because he is safe. Safe men are not feared, and men who are not feared are managed. His loyalty is not respected, it is assumed. When pressure arrives, it is applied to him first, because his breaking point is known. The second archetype is the loyal idealist. He believes in principles, transparency, and mutual goodwill. He thinks clarity prevents conflict. In reality, clarity invites it. His ideals make him legible. His moral lines make him predictable. He is exploited by those who do not share his restraints. The loyal idealist becomes dangerous only in fantasy. In reality, he is neutralized early, outmaneuvered by ambiguity, delayed by procedure, disarmed by moral framing. He fights fair in an unfair arena and calls his defeat fate. The third archetype is the reactive aggressor, loud, volatile. He believes unpredictability means emotional chaos. He confuses noise with threat. His outbursts are consistent, which makes them easy to trigger. He is not feared, he is provoked. Systems love the reactive aggressor. He justifies containment. His behavior invites oversight, punishment, removal. He believes he is uncontrollable. In reality, he is the most controllable of all. The final archetype, the rare one, is the sovereign strategist. He is not consistent, but he is not chaotic. His behavior shifts with context, not emotion. He reveals nothing unnecessarily. His silence is deliberate. His reactions are delayed or withheld. The sovereign strategist is unsettling because he cannot be placed. Others cannot predict whether he will tolerate, retaliate, or withdraw. They do not know what he values most, so they cannot threaten it. They do not know his limits, so they avoid testing them. He is not trusted, but he is respected. Respect is granted when cost is uncertain. This archetype understands a brutal truth. Visibility invites interference. The more clearly you define yourself, the easier you are to oppose. Identity, when rigid, becomes a cage. The strategist keeps his identity modular, situational, replaceable. Most men resist this because they confuse consistency with integrity. They believe shifting behavior means losing themselves. In reality, clinging to a fixed self in a hostile environment is suicide. Machiavelli praised the ruler who could appear merciful while being ruthless, faithful while being deceptive, human while being inhuman, because appearing one thing while being another breaks pattern recognition. It forces observers to operate defensively. The sovereign strategist does not announce his nature. He lets others project onto him, and then acts outside their projections. This gap between expectation and action is where power is harvested. If you recognize yourself in the first three archetypes, understand this. The system already knows who you are, and it has plans for you. Only the fourth archetype forces the system to adapt. History's lesson: unsettling men rule. Longer history does not reward the virtuous, it records the adaptable. Every era exposes the same pattern. Men who were readable were removed, replaced, or remembered as warnings. Men who were opaque survived chaos and shaped outcomes. Courts, not battlefields, are where predictability dies fastest. In royal courts, where everyone watched everyone else, predictable men were assassinated with smiles. Their habits became schedules. Their loyalties became liabilities. Their openness became evidence. Those who ruled longest were not the strongest or the most loved. They were the least understood. Consider how power was lost. A ruler trusted the same advisors, met at the same hours, reacted the same way to threats. His enemies did not need armies, they needed patience. They waited for the pattern to complete itself. Machiavelli observed that conspiracies succeed when the target behaves as expected, when routines remain fixed, when mercy is assumed, when retaliation is delayed in the name of restraint. Predictability makes betrayal cheap. Unsettling men reversed this dynamic. They changed routines without explanation, punished without warning, forgave without pattern. This did not make them cruel. It made them expensive to challenge. Every move against them carried unknown cost. Human nature hates uncertainty. Faced with an unpredictable opponent, people overestimate risk. They hesitate to commit resources. They fracture alliances internally. Doubt spreads faster than fear. This is why unpredictability amplifies power disproportionately. You do not need to be stronger. You only need to be unreadable. History shows this repeatedly. Generals who varied tactics survived ambushes. Rulers who alternated generosity and severity prevented rebellion. Leaders who masked intention forced rivals to negotiate from weakness. Those who tried to be consistent, to be just, became symbols after death, not forces during life. Even revolutions expose this truth. Movements led by predictable idealists are hijacked by opportunists who understand ambiguity. The idealist provides momentum. The strategist captures power. Human beings seek certainty to feel safe. When certainty disappears, they seek protection, not justice. The man who can provide protection through unpredictability becomes the axis around which others orbit. This is not about cruelty for its own sake. It is about refusing to be legible in environments designed to exploit legibility. The unsettling man does not need to announce dominance. His presence alters behavior. Conversations change when he enters. Decisions slow. Words are chosen carefully. Not because he is violent, but because he is unknown. Predictable rulers are replaced. Unpredictable ones are endured. History does not remember the consistent. It remembers the unreadable. Engineering. Unpredictability. Unpredictability is not randomness. Randomness is weakness disguised as freedom. True unpredictability is engineered, controlled, deliberate. It is the art of denying others a stable model of you while maintaining internal command. The first principle is behavioral variance without explanation. Most men feel compelled to justify shifts in behavior. They explain silence, mood, decisions. This restores predictability. Explanation is a confession of pattern. The strategist withholds it. Sometimes you respond quickly. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you engage deeply. Sometimes you disengage without closure. Not out of emotion, but out of calculation. The absence of reason forces observers to speculate, and speculation breeds caution. The second principle is emotional misalignment. People expect emotions to align with events. Anger after insult, gratitude after favor, fear after threat. Break this alignment. Respond calmly where anger is expected. Respond coldly where warmth is anticipated. This fractures the prediction loop. When others cannot read your emotional state, they cannot anchor their strategy. They lose timing. They overcorrect. You gain initiative without moving. The third principle is selective inconsistency. Consistency in values is irrelevant if consistency in behavior exposes you. Hold internal principles, but vary their expression. Mercy today does not guarantee mercy tomorrow. Firmness now does not promise firmness later. This is not hypocrisy. It is sovereignty over response. Next is strategic silence. Silence is not absence. It is pressure. When you withhold reaction, others project intent onto the void. They reveal their fears, their expectations, their limits. Silence turns the observer into the speaker, and the speaker into the exposed. The predictable man rushes to clarify misunderstandings. The strategist lets misunderstandings mature. Confusion weakens coordination. Clarity strengthens opposition. Another weapon is misdirection through partial disclosure. Reveal something true but irrelevant. Let others believe they understand you. This false understanding becomes their blind spot. When action comes from outside their model, it feels like betrayal of logic. You are not hiding, you are shaping perception. Finally, rhythmic disruption. Change routines periodically. Alter availability. break cycles. Predictability thrives on time. Disrupt time, and planning collapses. Even minor disruptions force recalculation. This engineering is subtle. Loud unpredictability invites resistance. Quiet unpredictability creates respect. The goal is not chaos. It is hesitation, not fear, but doubt. Doubt is paralyzing. Most men cannot sustain this because it requires emotional discipline. They leak intent. They seek validation. They want to be understood. Understand this. Being understood is a concession you cannot afford. Unpredictability isolates you from casual access. That is its cost. But it also protects you from casual control. Once engineered correctly, your presence alone shifts dynamics. Others adjust to you. You no longer adjust to them. This is the behavioral transition point, from participant to variable, from known quantity to strategic problem. Identity, death, and replacement. Unpredictability cannot coexist with the old identity. The self you have been defending, honest, consistent, explainable, was designed for cooperation, not survival. To become unreadable, that identity must die. Not symbolically, functionally. Most men mistake identity for essence. They cling to traits as if losing them means losing themselves. In reality, identity is a costume worn long enough that it feels like skin, and skins can be shed. The old identity seeks coherence. It wants to be seen as the same man across situations. This coherence is what others exploit. They appeal to who you were yesterday to control what you do today. Memory becomes a leash. Identity death begins with severing this continuity. You stop honoring past versions of yourself as obligations. Promises made under weaker leverage are reevaluated. Expectations formed around your former behavior are no longer binding. This feels like betrayal to them. To you, it is correction. Replacement does not mean emptiness. It means installing a new operating principle. You are not here to be known. You are here to remain sovereign. Sovereignty requires opacity. Opacity requires restraint. The new identity is modular. Context decides expression. In one environment, you are distant and economical. In another, present and generous. In another, absent entirely. None of these modes define you. They are tools. Emotionally, this demands detachment, not numbness, control. You feel impulses, but you do not broadcast them. You experience loyalty, but you do not let it precede leverage. You can care without revealing how much. This is where most men fail. They want power without isolation. But isolation is the filter. The more unreadable you become, the fewer people feel entitled to you. This is not loss. It is selection. Machiavelli warned that a ruler who tries to satisfy all identities satisfies none. The sovereign accepts misunderstanding. He allows others to mislabel him. Their labels become their mistakes. You will be called cold, inconsistent, untrustworthy. These accusations are signals that the identity death is working. They mean the old control channels no longer function. Replacement also requires internal silence. You stop narrating yourself. No internal justifications. No moral rehearsals. Action replaces explanation. Decision replaces debate. The new identity is not reactive. It does not defend. It does not clarify. It moves. At this stage, unpredictability is no longer a tactic. It is a byproduct of sovereignty. Others cannot predict you because you are no longer negotiating with their expectations. The old self wanted to be accepted. The new self accepts the cost of being unplaceable. This is the final internal transformation. After this, there is no return to innocence. Final warning: this path selects, not saves. Unpredictability is not a shield. It is a filter. It does not protect everyone who touches it. It removes those who cannot operate without certainty, reassurance, or moral comfort. If you are seeking safety, this path will betray you. Once you become unreadable, access to you becomes expensive. People hesitate before approaching. Conversations shorten. Invitations thin out. Not because you are weaker, but because others cannot calculate the return. You are no longer efficient to engage. This is the first warning. You will lose casual allies. The predictable man is surrounded. The unpredictable one is observed from distance. Many men interpret this as failure and revert. That is selection correcting itself. The second warning is internal. You will no longer receive emotional reinforcement. Praise dries up. Validation disappears. You will not know immediately whether a move was admired or resented. You must operate without feedback. If you require affirmation, you will sabotage yourself. The third warning is ethical isolation. When you break patterns, you will be accused of manipulation. This accusation is not about your intent. It is about lost control. People call you immoral when they can no longer moralize you into compliance. Machiavelli wrote that men hate those who remind them of their vulnerability. Unpredictability is a mirror. It exposes how much others rely on assumption and routine. They respond with hostility, disguised as principle. Understand this clearly. This doctrine is not about dominance displays or intimidation. It is about forcing the world to negotiate with uncertainty. When outcomes are unclear, power concentrates around the source of ambiguity. But ambiguity must be maintained. One emotional leak can undo months of discipline. One explained decision restores the old map. This path demands constant vigilance, not outwardly, but internally. There is no final arrival, no moment where unpredictability is achieved. The moment you settle into a new pattern, you are exposed again. Sovereignty is maintained, not attained. The elite few who endure this are not happier. They are harder to move. They are not loved. They are deferred to. They are not followed. They are calculated around. This is the last inversion you must accept. Belonging is weakness. Distance is leverage. If you cannot tolerate being misunderstood, stop here. If you cannot stand being alone in decision, retreat. This doctrine does not save men, it selects them. Those who remain do not ask for permission. They simply become the variable others fear misjudging.